miss the beach. So I guess the first place I'm gonna go as soon as everything goes back to normal is there. Nothing is more relaxing than a walk on the beach, until one of these 10 catch you by surprise, filling you with bewilderment or worse, even terror. Here are 10 of the strangest things to wash up on shore. Number 10. World War II Love Letters. Just a day after Hurricane Sandy ravaged the East Coast in 2012, Kathleen Mullen made an incredible discovery near the Jersey Shore. It thankfully had nothing to do with the cruddy reality show with the same name. No, instead she found a stack of 57 letters bound with a pink ribbon that had washed ashore in the storm. Mullen took the letters home, dried them by the fireplace, and realized she had stumbled upon love letters written between a certain Dorothy Fallon and a soldier named Lynn Farham. These letters date between 1942 and 1947, while the latter was in the military. Though where the letters came from is unclear, Mullen was determined to get them back to the rightful owners. Through research online, she was able to locate a niece, Shelley Farnham Hilber, who lives in Virginia. Dorothy and Lynn had gotten married after the war and had 2 children. Lynn and the couple's son are deceased, and their daughter had lost touch with the family. But 91-year-old Dorothy was living in a nursing home in New Jersey. The letters were then safely returned to her. Number 9. Packs of cigarettes. Hey smokers, do yourself a favor and please consider quitting. Do you know how many cigarette butts get washed up on beaches every single day? Millions. Who am I kidding? You're probably lighting one up right now. But in this story, we're not merely talking about cigarette butts. Oh no. We're talking about packs of them. Thousands of unopened packs containing an estimated 11 million cigarettes. They were washed up on a 2-mile stretch at Dorset Beach back in 2014 after a particularly horrific storm caused a cargo of these things to fall off a ship. Police tightly guarded the area to ensure no one was tempted to pick a few packs up. Fortunately though, the packs were so damaged and were deemed unusable and were quickly cleaned up. Number 8. Blue Sailors. No, I'm not talking about sad and lonely mariners. I'm talking about jellyfish with a bluish, sometimes even purple tinge. Also called by the wind sailors, these jellyfish usually float on the surface in the open ocean, riding wind and water currents in search of food using a hardened triangular sail. It's actually that thing that you see on top of their domes. Back in 2015, literally billions of these sea creatures started washing up on the US West Coast beaches. They first started showing up in Oregon and Washington, but later turned up in California as well. Is this the result of an ill-fated hostile takeover masterminded by sentient deep-sea organisms who sent these hapless jellyfish to their deaths in an attempt to subjugate us land dwellers? Not quite actually. Be cool though. The mass stranding is a simple result of the wind changing directions. The changing wind current blew these hapless creatures ashore and their doom. Not quite as dramatic as the first theory, but the facts are facts, no matter how boring. Number 7. The St. Augustine Monster. The St. Augustine Monster is one of the earliest examples of a globster, a delightful term referring to an unidentified animal mass that washes up on a beach and results in cryptozoologists speculating about sea monsters. This particular and particularly large carcass was discovered by a couple of young boys playing on Anastasia Island, Florida in November of 1896. The boys assumed it was a whale, but Dr. DeWitt Webb, the founder of the St. Augustine Historical Society Institute of Science, concluded that it was the remains of a giant octopus and sent photos and a specimen to the Smithsonian labeled as such. Number 6. A two-headed dolphin. A gym teacher found the remains of the conjoined baby dolphins on a beach in Dikili near the western city of Izmir. Finding this rare creature is amazing enough, but even more amazing things were discovered when the animal was studied. First off, the animal was roughly a year old before it died, meaning that it survived an entire year feeding and swimming about with its mom. This is made doubly amazing when experts point out the fact that it's very rare for any conjoined animal, especially mammals, to live beyond a few months old in the wild. Polycephaly, the condition in which a single animal has 2 heads, is a very rare condition that doesn't only happen to animals but to humans as well. Abigail and Brittany Hensel is the perfect example of human polycephalic twins. Number 5. Kinder Eggs. On January 9, 2017, thousands of plastic Kinder Surprise eggs washed up on the German Wadden Sea island of Lengyong after a heavy storm. This was to the delight of local children, as Kinder Eggs are also very popular in Germany. The eggs are thought to have come from a Danish container ship that lost containers during the storm. Along with the eggs, various pieces of Lego, plastic bags, wheels, furniture parts, and even prams were also washed up on the beach. According to Monterey Bay Aquarium's Research Institute, about 10,000 containers end up in the oceans every year. Number 4. Whale puke. Whale vomit, or ambergris, is a highly prized, very expensive thing that is found in the innards of the sperm whale and used in perfumes after it has been vomited up. Yes, your favorite perfume has whale vomit in it. Just reflect on that for a minute or two. Oh, and did I mention that they're extremely expensive? Well, they are. Ken Willman's dog Mage noticed the smelly yellow lump of something on the beach in Lancashire first. Initially, William had no interest in it, mostly because it smelled horrible. But when he researched about it when he got home, he found out what it was and quickly came back for it. He had stumbled upon a 6-pound pile of ambergris, or whale vomit, worth up to $180,000. The waxy substance is produced in the intestines of sperm whales to protect their digestive tracts from sharp squid beaks. Despite its nickname, it's likely excreted, rather than vomited, into the ocean, where it floats for untold years before occasionally washing up on shore. So why is the whale excrement worth so much? Well, high-end European perfumeries use it as a fixer that allows the scents to stay on the skin for much longer. And just so you know, it was also used as an ingredient in old recipes, especially in desserts. Number 3. A giant eyeball. Imagine you're just having a peaceful walk at the beach, and then you find one of these things literally staring back at you. Yep, of all the things that the sea could potentially cough up, it decided to gift you with a big old blue eyeball. This giant, softball-sized peeper was washed up on the shores of Pompano Beach, Florida sometime in 2012. It was immediately retrieved, thankfully, by the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, who subsequently sent it off for study to identify the mystery creature to which it belonged to. It was originally thought to belong to either a giant squid or even a colossal squid, but that was quickly debunked due to the bones surrounding the eyeball, which doesn't occur in squids. In the end, it was identified to be the eye of a swordfish, smaller than a colossal squid, but in no way a minnow. Now it's time for today's best pick. Today's pick, which is a subscriber submission, is another one of those unidentifiable creatures that washed up on shore. The photo might look familiar to you, but there's definitely something wrong with it. Find out more next with number 2. The MONTAUK Monster. In July 2008, a photo of what looked like Zool, the demon that possessed Sigourney Weaver in Ghostbusters, made the internet rounds. The MONTAUK Monster, so named because it was discovered on a beach in Montauk, New York, was a curious-looking carcass that was not immediately identifiable. Oh, just in case you were wondering, the actual monster isn't as big as the one on the photo. It was actually about the size of a raccoon, not a whale, so the photo was obviously manipulated. The animal wasn't available for autopsy because somebody had the bright idea of removing it from where it lay. But zoologists asked by media to examine the photo were fairly certain it was a decomposing raccoon that had lost enough hair and skin due to being in water for an extended period of time. Later, a trio of men from nearby Shelter Island admitted to finding a dead raccoon and giving it a Viking funeral by setting it ablaze on the water. Whether that's true or not, the monster was almost certainly the same as the one partial to rooting through your trash. Before we move on, do me a favor. My analytics show that only about 15% of you watching are actually subscribed. Come on guys, what's up with that? Can you guys please hit the subscribe button? You guys watch my videos every day anyway, so you might as well subscribe and keep up to date with every video we put out. Number 1. A bag of hands. Ew. Back in 2018, a fisherman from Khabarovsk, Siberia was just walking along, minding his own business in a small island in the Amur River. All seemed pretty normal until he spotted a hand poking out of the snow. Apparently curious of the find, although I couldn't imagine why, he started to dig around and he eventually found a bag full of hands, 27 pairs of them to be exact. Investigators were immediately called to the scene, but they were stumped as to the origins of the mysterious bag. This gave rise to rumors that it was the work of a previously undiscovered serial killer. However, the truth behind it all was soon uncovered. According to investigators, the hands more than likely came from a local forensics lab where they were kept as a form of identification and then improperly disposed. In Russia, the hands of identified corpses are sometimes severed in order to retain fingerprints for identification after the burial. However, it is very unclear why both hands of corpses would be cut off when only one would be needed for identification. It is also unclear why fingerprints were not taken and stored in a database instead of severing the hands. Have you ever found something strange washed up on a beach somewhere? Let us know down in the comments below. Also check out the channel's other amazing videos. As always, thank you all for watching and I'll see you all next time. Later everybody!